Welcome to High Moon Libra. Today we're going to do a 9-card spread that I like to call Love Catch-All. A huge bird just hit my window. Just flew into my window. Sorry. Okay. Concentrate, Sherry. I like to take all the cards, put them back upright, cleanse them between each sign. You don't have to do that, but I just like to. It's just what I do. So, what about your energy pulls them towards you? It's the pull, like a magnet. Page of Swords reversed. Second card, this is their unedited feelings. This is their feelings before they decide or show what's proper to show or what they feel should be shown, or before they edit themselves, before they put on their mask. Oh, we have the Sun reversed for their unedited feelings. The third card is what they want out of this connection. What does Libra's person want from this connection in June? Three of Cups reversed. The fourth card reveals the Resistance. This is what stops them from completely and fully showing up, whether it's internal or external. We're about to find out here. Six of Swords. The fifth card reveals the blind spot. What's not known yet. Might be known in later months, but what's not known yet. Oh. The first card I saw was the Three of Swords reversed. That's the blind spot. The 6 and 7 cards are my alignment check. The alignment check reveals how they show up when it's easy versus how they show up when it counts, when it matters, when it's not so easy. So let's do card 6 here, when it's easy. How does Libra's person show up when it's easy for them to show up? When there's nothing being asked of them, when there's no pressure. Ten of Wands reversed. How does Libra's person show up when it counts? When there's work to be put in. When it's messy, when it matters to Libra, maybe when there's loyalty tests going on, when there's stress and not everything's happy-go-lucky. How does Libra's person show up when it counts? Queen of Cups reversed. This is your person's next move. Show me Libra's person's next move in June. 9 of Pentacles upright. And this last card brings it all back to you, Libra. This is your power move. This is your next best step. in June. It keeps you in integrity, keeps you in your power. What's Libra's best next step? Seven of Cups reversed. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera so we can get a closer look at these cards. And I'm going to pull a rune for the final word. Okay, Libra, let's take a closer look at your cards. So for the first card, this is the pull. And you pulled the Page of Swords reversed. So this placement shows what about you, or what about the energy between you is activating you and your person's attention at this time. This is the magnetic force in the connection. It's what grabs their focus, stirs their energy, or keeps you standing out in their mind, or keeps them circling back to you mentally, emotionally, or energetically. It can show attraction or curiosity. It can show admiration or emotional recognition. But it can also show tension or temptation, because we're not always, we're complex, right? Like, we're not always pulled into people's energies only for positivity. Sometimes it's about inner conflict or ego or tension somehow. So the pull's not always comfortable. Sometimes people are pulled towards what feels good, safe, and sometimes they're pulled towards what affects them, or challenges them, or tempts them, or makes them feel unsettled. So this card shows the energy in you or between you that makes the person notice. And the Page of Swords reversed tells me that the person is mentally activated by you, because it's a sword card. So this is curiosity, but it may not be handled in the most direct, mature way because it's reversed. So they may be watching from a distance, assuming things, asking other people, or reading into little details, or trying to figure out what's changed in your energy. What pulls them in may be your mystery, or your intelligence, or your silence. The fact that you don't reveal everything right away, or they don't know everything. The pull here is that they can't quite read you, and that keeps them curious. They may want information, or they may want to know what you think, or what you know, or what changed. They might want to know where you stand. So this pull isn't just attraction, it's mixed with tension. But instead of approaching clearly, they may overthink, or spy, or gossip, or communicate sideways. This feels like someone's acting or they could be acting unbothered while their mind's still engaged. The hook is the mental itch. They can't fully figure you out, and that keeps their attention on you. It's also a page, so it's blocked energy. It's not coming up the most mature, so yeah. But that's the pull. For this next placement is the Sun card. This is the Sun reversed, is unedited feelings. This placement shows what they genuinely feel before they edit themselves, manage impressions, shape it into words, behavior, strategy, or decide what's safe to show. So this is the emotional undercurrent. And the Sun is warmth and happiness. This is joy. It's the most positive card in the deck. It's confidence, visibility, the ability to enjoy something freely. When the Sun's reversed, the light's still there, but it might be clouded over, or dimmed, or blocked. This might be muted, or harder to trust. This doesn't automatically mean there's no happiness. It just means the happiness is present, but it's not fully free. So when the sun's reversed in unedited feelings, there's warmth, but it's not fully shining in an open or easy way. So this person might feel happiness, attraction, emotional warmth towards you, but something in them's hesitating before it's fully relaxing into it. They may feel good with you, but not fully trust the feeling. Or they may want to enjoy the connection, but part of them holds back because it feels vulnerable or risky or too exposed. Yeah, this can be guarded happiness, blocked warmth, insecurity, self-consciousness, fear of disappointment. It's muted joy, clouded over. So it feels like they want happiness, but they're not fully sure they can stand in it openly for some reason. They may not fully believe the good feeling will last, or maybe they feel warmth without fully surrendering to it. They may be afraid if they open up too much or enjoy this too much or let the light in too much, they could get hurt. So the feeling itself might be warmth, but it's reversed, so it comes with caution. It can show up as awkwardness or guarded affection, acting less interested than they are, holding part of themselves back, or being warm and then dimming themselves. It can be showing affection and then becoming self-conscious about it, or wanting closeness but hesitating or pulling back when things start to feel too bright or exposed or vulnerable. This isn't coldness by default. It's warmth that's been dimmed. The feeling's there, but it's guarded or self-conscious or not fully allowed. It's the warmth there, but it's not fully shining. Third placement here, this is what they want. And you pulled the 3 of Cups reversed. This placement shows what they want out of the connection. What they're reaching for, what they want access to, or what they want this to provide or become or satisfy for them. This card shows the quality of that desire. And because it's a Cups card, we're looking at the emotional experience they want the connection to give them. It's not just what they feel or what they need. It's what they're reaching for emotionally. With the 3 of Cups, this is joy and friendship, emotional ease, social connection, affection, feeling good together. And the number 3 matters here because 3 brings in connection, expansion, gathering, an energy that moves beyond one isolated feeling. It can bring in social circles, friendship, group dynamics, outside opinions, or the desire to feel included. Upright can show someone wanting joy and friendship, laughter, or reconciliation, emotional ease, connections that feel light and supportive. But reversed, that desire gets more complicated. This person still wants connection, but they may want it in a lighter, looser, or more casual way, or in an emotionally less demanding way. They may want the pleasure of the bond without the weight of the deeper emotional accountability. So this can be someone wanting fun and affection without too much pressure. This can be someone wanting closeness while resisting emotional seriousness, or not wanting the sappy or heavy feelings so much with it. So they want the connection to feel good but not complicated. They want to enjoy the bond without fully deepening it. So what they want may be emotional enjoyment, attention, social access. They might want validation or affection, or the feeling of being desired. But this card is also reversed, which complicates things. So that desire might be tangled with outside people. Comparison, jealousy, gossip, Lots of gossip in this spread. Third party energy, unclear boundaries, or wanting attention for more than one place. This does not automatically mean cheating in every reading. I'm not one to make everything third party, but let's be honest, the Three of Cups reversed can absolutely be a third party card, especially in the placement of want. Because it's in the want position, it can show someone wanting a loose or open dynamic, wanting to keep options open, wanting attention outside the connection. This person might want multiple people involved, like threesomes and stuff, or they want flirting without accountability, wanting to party and have fun and a social dynamic, or wanting the pleasure of the connection without the emotional inclusivity. So this can include cheating if the situation supports it. It can include an open relationship if that's part of their dynamic. It can include side attention, keeping someone on the side, flirting outside the relationship wherever possible, emotional triangulation, or wanting to keep the connection undefined enough so that they don't have to answer for everything. But it can also be a lot less extreme. For some of you, this is just simply your person wanting the relationship to feel a lot lighter, easier, more fun, less intense, less emotionally heavy, and less pressured. They may not want to leave. They may not want another person. They may just want the connection to stop feeling so serious or tense or complicated, emotionally complicated. So this can show up as someone wanting to keep things friendly and flirty and casual and cool and undefined. But they may message late at night for spontaneous meetups, but avoid deeper talks, or they may want your attention in group settings, want to be seen with you, or want to feel included, chosen, or socially validated. They may want the emotional boost of knowing they still have access to you. They may want to reconnect through jokes or social media or casual messages, group events, conversation instead of addressing deeper issues. Someone might want a reunion without having to do the heavy work of the repair, or they want the affection without the definition, or closeness without the pressure. They want to feel good without dealing with the messy parts, or they may want the pleasure of the bond without the deeper accountability or the deeper parts of it. So yeah, they may want access to your energy while still keeping the door open for others' attention. The shadow here is emotional messiness. Three of Cups reversed can show that the desire is not fully clean, protected, or mature, or focused. There may be too many people, too many opinions, too much attention seeking, or not enough clean emotional boundaries. So the quality of the desire is connection mixed with avoidance, or fun mixed with mess. Closeness mixed with unclear boundaries, or emotional enjoyment without full accountability. So they may want fun, affection, and reunion or emotional enjoyment, but reversed, it comes with unclear boundaries, outside influence, jealousy, comparison, and messiness. So the real question with this card is, do they want closeness, or do they want the comfort, attention, and fun of the connection without the deeper responsibility that comes with it? Okay. Our next card here, this is the resistance. You pulled the Six of Swords reverse. So resistance shows what creates hesitation or distance or avoidance, what makes the person delay or protect themselves. It shows what makes your person have difficulty showing up, whether that's external or internal. It might be their job, their kids, time, distance, or it might be internal. But with the Six of Swords in the resistance is movement that's moving away. Six of Swords about transition and moving away from rough water to calmer waters. It can show recovery or mental processing. It can show physical movement and the desire to leave and get away from mental stress or emotional heaviness. Because this is a sword card, the resistance is mental. This can involve thoughts, old arguments, memories, going over old conversations, old conflicts, mental exhaustion, or trying to make sense of what already happened. Overthinking. The 6 matters here because 6 often brings adjustment and repair and a search for balance after conflict. And the 6 of Swords comes after the tension of the 5 of Swords with its harsh words and ego battles and mental stress, or a situation where nobody really wins. The 6 of Swords wants peace. It wants to leave the rough water. When the connection feels tense or complicated or stressful, this can show someone whose instinct is to shift their energy away from emotional turbulence or conflict or unresolved pain towards whatever feels calmer. They may create distance mentally, emotionally, or physically, or all 3. They can all be true at the same time. They may this person might become quieter, less expressive, or more detached when things feel heavy. They want relief from the intensity. They might want distance because distance feels safer than being pulled back into the same emotional waters. How this shows up, you might experience hesitation, detachment. The person goes quiet or shifts away or redirects or pulls back when the connection starts to feel too much. This doesn't have to be dramatic. It might be subtle. Their energy might just simply become less available. They may not physically leave either, but they may not fully stay present. Their energy just might shift and drift. This person wants calmer waters, but they might not know how to create that while staying close. So the resistance is that staying present may feel too heavy or uncomfortable, so they create space. The 6 of Swords also in the resistance says that this person may want things to calm down, but their way of getting there is to move away from rough water instead of toughing it out and working it out. That can make the connection feel more like it drifts instead of builds. For the blind spot, you pulled the 3 of Swords reversed. The blind spot reveals what's active in the connection that's not been fully seen or named or recognized or accounted for yet. And this placement is a little different than all the other placements because it can come from either of you or the connection itself, or all the other placements are either about your power move, their next move, how they show up, their feelings, how they see you. This one can be both or either. With the 3 of Swords reversed, the blind spots, what may not be fully seen yet is attempted healing. Something painful might have already happened in the past, and the sharpest part might have passed, like the most hurtful part, but someone's might still be trying to recover or forgive or move forward. They're trying to get past what happened and release their pain. They might be trying to release their pain by affection with lots of different people. Because it's a sword card, the pain's connected to the mind. So this is thoughts and words and conversations, painful truths. It can be overthinking, negative self-talk. It can be guilt, shame, mental exhaustion. But because it's reversed, the healing's not quite as complete as it looks or they would like it to be. It's not just emotional pain. This pain lives in the mind and keeps affecting how someone thinks or communicates or protects themselves or trusts. And this might not necessarily be someone going and sleeping around and doing stuff to ease their mind. It could be someone partying all the time, you know, and trying to ease their mind. If for someone who's watching this for a friend and not their lover or something. Because because this is a 3, the pain may involve more than one emotional thread, so it can point to heartbreak or separation, betrayal, a third-party wound, divided feelings. It can point to outside influence or a painful situation that's spread beyond one simple issue. And upright, the 3 of Swords, the wound is sharp. It's grief, heartbreak. It's hurtful words, disappointment, or something that cuts through the heart. But reversed, the wound is changing. So there's healing starting to happen, and recovery and forgiveness, or an attempt to release the pain. Emotional processing is happening. But reversed, it can also show pain being minimized or rushed past, buried or softened, and not fully processed yet. So in the blind spot, this can show that somebody may be trying to heal from something, or the wound is still influencing that connection more than they realize, or the person more than they realize. The unseen factor here is not just pain, it's attempted healing. So pain is being worked through, but it might be messy or rushed or incomplete. It might be quietly affecting the connection from underneath. It can say like, oh no, I'm over it, while still flinching, or like, I'm fine, when the mind's still replaying what happened over and over and over. It can look like wanting to forgive, but not fully trusting. This can look like someone trying to move forward while still carrying resentment or guilt or shame or sadness. It can look like the connection trying to recover before the repair is complete. That might be why this person's happiness isn't shining as brightly, too. It can look like burnout or mental exhaustion as well. Someone may be tired from thinking about the pain, or tired of talking about it, or tired of the conflict, or tired of it going over and over and over in their head, or tired of being hurt, and tired of carrying the emotional weight. That might be also why they want a light, fun connection that's not heavy. The blind spot, yeah, so the pain is quieter now, but it's still shaping the connection. It might not be loud heartbreak anymore or fresh betrayal, but it's still affecting trust and communication and emotional availability and how safe someone feels. The edge here is it's rushed healing, but someone wants things to feel normal again without letting the pain be properly understood or processed. Okay, so our next card here, this is our alignment check. And this is where we're going to compare how this person shows up when things are easy versus how they show up when it counts. The first card shows their baseline, how they naturally act when the connection feels light or calm or low pressure or convenient. So what comes forward when nothing major is being asked of them. And the second card is going to show how they show up when something real is required, like effort or honesty, consistency, loyalty, follow through. emotional maturity. So what we really want to know is, do these two versions line up, or is there a gap? Because a lot of people can show up when it's easy. But the real question is, can someone show up when it counts, when it matters? So when it's easy, we pulled the Ten of Wands reversed. And with the Ten of Wands reversed, this person's behavior seems shaped by how heavy the connection feels. There's a lot of heaviness here. So in the alignment check, wands show action, energy, effort, initiative, drive, follow through. So we're looking at how they actually put energy into this connection. And the Ten of Wands is burden, pressure, responsibility, and carrying a lot. In reversed, that weight is shifting. It may be released or shared. It may be resented, simplified, or it might be avoided. But when things are easy, this person may show up better when the connection feels lighter, simpler, or less demanding. In a healthy expression, they may be releasing pressure. So they might put some things down, they're managing their stress better, sharing the load, making more room for the connection, and their energy can feel easier because they've put some stuff down. But there's also an overburdened version of this card. So they may still show up, but they're carrying a lot still. They didn't put anything down, and it affects the quality of their effort. And the connection may feel like one more thing they have to handle. So their effort comes with irritation or resentment, emotional stinginess, and they might be passive aggressive or have the feeling that they're doing it because they have to, not because they have space for it. And the shadow expression of this is they may drop the weight completely. They may avoid responsibility, use busyness as distance, pull away, or refuse to carry their fair share when things feel like too much. So the effort may be there, but the quality of it depends on how heavy this connection feels. It may feel easier when pressure is reduced and everything's going great and everything's easy and there's no hard conversations to be had. But it can also shrink or sour or disappear when the connection starts feeling like another burden. So this is how they move when nothing major is being asked of them. The next card shows what changes when the connection asks for more. So when it counts, you pulled the Queen of Cups reversed. This card shows how this person shows up when something real is required of the connection. Emotional honesty, maturity, repair, patience, or the ability to stay present when feelings get heavier. This is cup energy. So we're looking at emotional behavior here. How they handle feelings in the connection. So this is care, vulnerability. This shows empathy or lack thereof. Sensitivity, how someone handles feelings inside the connection. And the Queen of Cups has emotional depth, and she's sensitive, and she's caring, and she's very intuitive. But reversed, that emotional depth may not be regulated or showing up cleanly enough to support the connection positively. So when something real is required, this person may care deeply, but the emotions take over the room. They may use emotion indirectly through guilt. They may withdraw, become needy, or passive aggressive. They might be moody or inconsistent. Maybe they're emotional reactive or unable to separate intuition from fear. Their emotional response may turn inward. They may process privately instead of responding directly. So they can seem present, but they're not fully emotionally engaged when something actually needs to be addressed. So the issue is not automatically that they don't care, because there's cups, they care. But it can be too much feeling without regulation or steadiness. The darker side of the Queen of Cups reversed can show someone that's very emotionally selfish or emotional manipulation. Sometimes this is someone who's caught in their own hurt, their own feelings, their own insecurity or emotional reaction, that their feelings take priority over your feelings or the repair of the relationship or taking any kind of accountability. So instead of naming what they feel clearly, they may shut down or sulk or withdraw. Maybe they overgive or guilt trip. They may punish by withholding emotion, become cold, or make the emotional atmosphere just harder to deal with. As you know, the issue here is capacity. When it counts, they may not be emotionally steady enough to meet the moment cleanly, support healthy repair, have honest communications, or emotional follow-through. So putting these two together, the alignment looks strained from the start. This is not clean. They're great when it's easy, but fall apart when it's hard situation. The first card's already showing stress as their baseline. So even when nothing major is being asked of them, they may already have a heaviness around how they engage, or their effort may not feel fully free or steady or easy. So it comes with strain or resentment or avoidance or exhaustion, or the sense that the connection is just one more thing they have to manage. And then when something real is required, the Queen of Cups reversed doesn't show they become clearer, steadier, or more emotionally mature. It shows the emotional side gets messy. And there's more emotional messiness over here. So the issue is the foundation already looks strained. And when the connection asks for more, the strain doesn't seem to transform into strength. So with these two cards together, the alignment looks shaky. There's feeling here, and there may be the effort at times, but it doesn't look like consistent, clean, or emotionally supportive. It's not just pressure showing up later or someone struggling when things get hard. There's already heaviness in the way the person shows up before connection even asks for more. And that's what I'm seeing for the alignment check. Okay. Now let's look at their next move. So this card shows their next move in relation to you and the connection. This is their next action or non-action, because, no action is still a choice and an action. This can be a shift, a delay, avoidance, real life behavioral moments. So with the Nine of Pentacles here, their next move looks independent, self-contained and focused. They're focused on their own stability, their own thing. This is Pentacles energy, so the movement is practical and grounded. It's physical and real world. So it shows what they actually do, how they pace themselves, how much access they allow, or how they position themselves in the connection. And the Nine of Pentacles is self-sufficient and composed. It's comfortable in solitude, and this person's able to stand on their own. So their next move looks to be independent, slow, or self-contained, or focused on their own stuff first. This doesn't feel like emotional urgency or chasing or clinging or rushing into dependency. It feels more like they stay in their own space and move from stability rather than need. So in real life, this could look like them protecting their peace or focusing on work or money, their own personal comfort and stability. They may communicate, show up, and keep their communication open in some way, but they do not look like they're throwing themselves into it. They may be engaged, but they still maintain space. And the driver's independence, it's self-respect, personal security, personal comfort, and wanting to stay grounded in their own stuff, in their own life, and where they feel safe. They may like the connection, but they don't appear to really need it, if I'm honest. They may be choosing peace, control, or personal stability over emotional intensity. They may be stable and composed, but not necessarily merging or emotionally exposing themselves. The connection exists, but without dependency, and they may show up, but they still stand alone comfortably. In a love reading, the Nine of Pentacles and love shows someone who values their independence inside the connection. They may not be against you, but they're not actively pursuing you in a way that feels emotionally urgent or satisfying for you. This can be someone who likes the connection but still prioritizes their own life, their own space, their own peace. Every card that's connected to feelings, desire, emotional energy has not been coming through clean. I didn't put this back. I put this back reversed. Sorry about that. But the two cards that are upright is the Six of Swords in resistance and the Nine of Pentacles in their next move. And this is a card this isn't about showing emotional closeness. It's about showing movement away from rougher conflict, from rough water, stress, or emotional heaviness. And this is about someone throwing themselves. This is not about someone throwing themselves in the connection. This is someone staying in their own energy, doing their own thing, protecting their own space, staying self-contained. So the upright energy in this reading is not really showing this person moving deeper into the relationship. It's showing they feel more stable when they're not fully inside the emotional mess of the connection. They seem more regulated when they're moving away from heaviness and when they're on their own. Everything else is reversed. How they show up, their feelings, how they see you even is reversed. This shows that their cleanest energy is not showing up in repair or vulnerability or closeness or shared emotional responsibility. Their cleanest energy shows up when they're moving away from the connection or independent or in self-protection mode or control of their own space. So the next move may be steady but not necessarily intimate. They could have something going on where, they may like the connection, but they seem most stable when they can keep their own space and independence intact. This isn't someone rushing in to repair or emotionally expose themselves. It's someone whose next move is to stay close enough to remain connected, but separate enough to still feel safe and in control of themselves. Let's look at your power move. Let's bring it back to you here, Libra. So with Seven of Cups reversed as your power move, your cleanest move is to choose what's real. This is cup energy, so your power sits in how you work with your heart without abandoning yourself inside the feeling of this connection. So cups deal with emotion and hope and attachment and grief and desire and stories of the heart. The Seven of Cups can show too many possibilities and not enough grounded truth. It can be fantasy and wishful thinking, emotional overwhelm, mixed signals. It can be projection and temptation and building a whole story around what could be instead of what actually is. But reversed, the fog is starting to lift. The fantasy gets tested and the illusion starts cracking. and your choices start to narrow. Your power move is to let reality become louder than whatever you're dreaming of. Let the fog lift and look at what's actually been shown. Not what could happen, not what they might feel, not what this connection could turn into if somebody became clearer or braver or softer or more accountable or more emotionally available. What is real right now? The Seven of Cups is asking you to stop feeding every possibility and start choosing what's supported by true behavior. So your power here is emotional sobriety. That means your heart can still feel, but your choices are not being run by fantasy or chemistry or longing or confusion or maybe. You're allowed to have hope and to have feeling and to want the beautiful version, but you do not have to hand your power over to a version of the connection that's not being backed up by real life or real actions or even intentions. This card, it helps you stop confusing potential with proof, or mistaking mystery for depth, or making distance more romantic than it is. Stop treating silence like it's some secret love language. This helps you choose the option supported by behavior, not imagination. The risk is seeing one sign and using it to override the whole pattern, or letting potential become a drug. But there's also another risk. The risk of getting too harsh with yourself for hoping in the first place. So don't punish yourself for wanting something beautiful, or shame yourself for seeing the possibility of something. But also don't keep living inside a version of the connection that really is not supporting you or the connection. Because the Seven of Cups reverse can be a rude awakening. It can be a moment where the pretty picture starts looking different once the lights come on. So in real life, maybe this looks like you start looking at what they actually do and how they actually show up. Maybe you stop making space between you mean more than it does, or this does not mean you have to be cold. It means you have to be clear. If the fantasy version of the connection is collapsing, let it collapse. And after the rest of this reading, that matters, because their clearest upright energy showed up in distance and independence. Six of Swords showed them moving away from emotional heaviness. The Knight of Pentacles shows them standing in their own space, focused on their own stability. So your power move is to not romanticize the places where they feel safest. What falls apart here under the truth was not stable enough to build on anyway. Your power move is to not chase the dream. It's to work with what actually exists. So the clean move is better than a beautiful delusion. Your power move here is to choose the truth over fantasy. Okay. That's a tough one. And this might not be your story. Everything might not fit. So just lean into what feels right. And, leave what doesn't. We're going to move into the rune here. This is the final word of the reading. The rune's going to give us the closing message, or a piece of wisdom that it wants us to sit over the whole reading. So let's see what the rune has for you. I cleanse these before each reading, for each sign. What do we have? We have, can you see that? We have Dag. And Elder Futhork. This is Degas. I'm just going to zoom in here for you. So this is breakthrough. This represents daylight. It's the moment darkness ends and things become visible. Clarity shifts everything. This is a breakthrough. This is a shift out of darkness. Clarity replaces confusion and starts to change what's possible. So now that you can see clearly, you can act on what you see. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra.